Hello again, YouTubers and Pokemon fans! In today's first opening by yours truly, we have our second World Championship deck of 2016, and that is Jesper Ericsson's Bebe Deck featuring Shaymin EX. Flip it over here on the back, there's a quick glance at the deck. Also features Yanmega Break and Vespiquen and 3 Shaymin EXs. Read the back here real quick. Jesper Ericsson brought a deck built around the brand new Yanmega Break from XY Steam Siege. Steam Siege just had come out right before Worlds and was legal for Worlds, in case you don't know. And it took him to the top of the senior division. Between Forest of Giant Plants, Yanmega's Sonic Vision ability, and the Judge Supporter card, this deck can unleash huge attacks immediately. And once enough Pokemon are in the discard pile, Vespiquen comes in to close out the game with the ever-popular Be Revenge attack. So let's tear in here and show you the full deck up close. If you want to see the booklet in here, watch yesterday's opening where we opened a Black Dragon Worlds deck there by Shunto Shadahiro. In that one we showed the booklet in full detail, and since this one is... Actually, this is senior, so we'll show you a little bit of the booklet just for the seniors division, but not everything. We'll skip here to, let's see, well, let's show you once more. There is the senior bracket, so that you can see Jesper Ericsson beat Connor Peterson in the finals for the division, and beat Rafael Soto and Tanner Hurley in the semifinals and quarterfinals to ultimately reach and win the World Championships. And there you can see Jesper Ericsson right there. And little bio further here says, I was really worried that I would hit a bad matchup. Yeah, I was really worried that I would hit bad matchups at Worlds, Jesper says, but he was often the one with the type of edge. And given the popularity of water-type decks, he picks Bursting Balloon as the most interesting card, and his deck runs 4 of them, although it was Professor Sycamore who featured in 2 of his most memorable plays. At one point, his opponent played N to make Jesper trade in his hand for a single card, Professor Sycamore. Then, in his very last game, Jesper played Professor Sycamore to get 1 more Pokemon into the discard pile, which gave Be Revenge just enough damage for the last knockout he needed to win. Then there is the deck list again, and there you can see country is Denmark, the deck is Bebe Deck. Interesting fact, Jesper's family is full of Pokemon TCG players. 2 of his brothers also played at Worlds this year and finished in the top half of the Masters Division field. Then there is Connor Peterson of the US, who got 2nd place with a Seismitoad EX base deck. And then 3rd place, Atar Rico of Indonesia. Looks like they were running a Night March deck. And then Rafael Soto of Brazil was running a Trevenant Break deck, who got 4th. And the rest of the booklet, if you want to see, we feature a lot more of that in yesterday's deck opening. And I will show you more of the Masters part of that booklet when we open up Shintaro Ito's Masters winning deck tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. So pop a couple of cards out of the plastic here of the Worlds deck. And the pin. And we'll give you guys the code this time because I didn't realize it. Like I showed yesterday's code by accident and then I went to redeem it and did so. But the code only gives you a coin, a pack of Worlds deck sleeves or whatever you want to say, and a deck box of Worlds. You do not get these decks with the code, so I only need the one. So first come, first serve. There is today's, which ends in Y. Why, oh why, oh why. Just so I know that's used, we'll tear that up there and get everything out here. Where's the opening? There we go. Thread that open. And let me just stick a few things in here so it's all in a somewhat better order, I guess you'd say. So, there's the deck, and once again, you get the pin. All these have the same pin in them. A Pikachu riding the trolley in San Francisco, and it's hard to see, but looks like it again says E16 on there. I have a spot focus on, so it's hard to focus on that sort of thing. But anyways, as for the deck itself, we've got 1 Spinarak and 1 Ariados. Ariados with that ability Poisonous Nest. Once during your turn before your attack, you may use this ability. Both active Pokemon, except for grass Pokemon, are now poisoned. So, as this deck, other than Shaymin, is, I believe, all grass type, you can use that to poison your opponent with no side effect for yourself. So a nice little 1/1 tech there, just to help induce extra damage and such to your opponent. Now we've got Yama times a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Yanmega with the ability Sonic Vision. If you have exactly 4 cards in your hand, ignore all energy in the attack cost of each of this Pokemon's attacks. Which means this Pokemon can attack with no energy attached if those requirements are met. An Assault Boom does 50 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has a Pokemon Tool card attached to it, this attack does 70 more damage. So it can do up to 140 damage for no energy if you have exactly 4 cards in your hand. And it has no retreat cost, make it that much more versatile. You get 4 of that, and where are they here? There we go. I don't know why they're way back there, but so we get the 4 Yanmegas. I got one in my hand still there. And then Yanmega Break has 140 hit points, and the attack Barrier Break does 100 damage. And this attack's damage isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So you got 1, 2, 3 of those, and when you play it, it of course is like that. So if you have Yanmega Break out, it still has that Sonic Vision ability, and if you have 4 cards in hand, you can use Barrier Break for 100, or you can use Assault Boom for 50 if they have no tool, or 120 if it does have a tool. So plenty of good options there. Lots of damage output for no energy necessarily required. And then we've got 3 of those Shaymin EXs with setup. Now I know online I saw on the Pokemon website 2 of these 3 Worlds decks that have Shaymins. Based on their deck list, they use full art ones, but as is the second one in a row we've opened with Shaymins, and neither of them are full arts. It seems they do not make any full arts in the theme decks, or in the Worlds decks I should say, just so you know. They do the lowest rarity form basically of them, so just so you know. Though I do feel like there was one year of Worlds decks where they had like gold trainers or something, but I could be mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of A-Specs when those were legal. They're still legal and expanded, but anyways, moving on. We've got 4 Combi, which more importantly evolves into Vespiquen, which as the back of the box and such mentioned, has the attack Be Revenge, does 20 plus, 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. And this one also has no retreat cost. And you can attack with Be Revenge with just a single double colorless energy. So you get 4 of those. And then I think that's all the Pokemon, so now on to the trainer cards. Bursting Balloon, which as we already know there's be 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and there's number 4. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if knocked out, put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Now the one downside of this card is that if the knockout happens or whatever via poison, it wouldn't take effect. But most of the time, it's gonna be hard to get around this card basically, because they don't have to be knocked out, just have to be damaged by an attack. So unless your opponent attached a bursting, or say you attach a bursting balloon, it's gonna go off unless your Pokemon has like 10 HP left and they poison you and then you die between turns. Get knocked out between turns, but. So yeah, not a bad card at all. Then we got N. Again, each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, then draws a card for each of his or her remaining prize cards. So it's a good catch-up card. If your opponent's taking 4 prizes, you've taken 1, you play N, you shuffle to draw 5, your opponent shuffles to draw 2. And as the description was given for this player, they had a situation where their opponent used N to put them down to 1 card, but they were lucky and drew Professor Sycamore, which lets them discard their hand, which was no hand at that point once they played it, to draw 7 cards and get out of that pickle. Got another AZ. The other deck had 1 of those as well. Put 1 of your Pokemon into your hand, discard all cards attached to that Pokemon. We got 4 versus Seeker. Get a supporter from your discard pile and add it to your hand. Level all times 1, 2. Search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. And that applies to everything in the deck except for Yanmega and Yanmega Break. Yanmega has just 110, not just, has 110 HP, which is 20 too much to use with level balls. So they only ran 2 because it doesn't work on every Pokemon. Well, Shaymin doesn't work with either. They can get the Spinarak, the Ariados, the Combi, the Vespiquen, or the Yanma with that. Then we got, I assume, 4. Yep, 4 Sycamores. Again, discard to draw 7. Forest of Giant Plants lets them fast evolve. Each player's grass Pokemon can evolve during his or her first turn, or the turn he or she plays those Pokemon. So they can have Vespiquen turn 1, they can have Ariados turn 1, they can have Yanmega Break turn 1. Although there was a Yanmega Prime back in the day, so at least it's an actual card. So 4 of those. Judge. Each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck and draws 4 cards. You get 2 of those. Battle Compress help you get those Pokemon into the discard pile. 4 Vespiquen, 2 of those. Ultra Balls, so you can find that Shaymin or those Yanmegas that have over 90 HP. Discard 2 cards from hand. Search your deck for a Pokemon and add to your hand. 4 of those bad boys. Special Charge. Shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Just 1 of those, and you'll see why that is ran in a second. Revitalizer. Put 2 grass Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Kind of surprised they used that since Vespiquen wants Pokemon in the discard pile, but they have just the 1, so in case they, get too many of, Yama or something in the discard pile, then you have a jam that way. Just an extra versatile card that may be discard fodder at some times, but could get them out of a real pickle at other times. Lysander times just 1, and then their only energy is 4 double colorless energy. So basically banking on having 4 cards in their hand so that they can attack with Yanmega for no energy, and the double colorless energy works with Shaymin EX or with Vespiquen. But since there are cards in the game like Enhanced Hammer and stuff that can discard energy, they want to make sure they have ways to get their limited energy sources back via Special Charge. So theoretically they have 6 double colorless energy since they can get 2 back with Special Charge. So there you have the Bebe Deck. Hopefully that was useful for you guys. Again, trying to help you guys know what some competitive decks look like in that via these new World Championship decks for you. So that's all for this video. I will be opening Shintaro Ito's Masters Champion deck tomorrow and Cody Walensky's Ninja Blitz Greninja deck on Tuesday. And we should also have another opening later today. So stay tuned for that. I won't spoil what it is, but stay tuned to see what it is later today. In the meantime, if you aren't already, please subscribe, smash that like button, and like I said, I'll see you back here later today for some more Pokemon goodness.